It's been quite a journey. This is the second one, of course. It follows up from the Thursday Murder Club, which was such a huge hit for you, wasn't it? Was it what you expected?
Yeah, it's a really interesting one. I thought maybe, obviously I didn't expect anything at all. I just wanted to sell enough copies they let me write another one, was the truth.
Yes.
And then I think in the UK, I think it's the third highest selling hardback of all time, behind Dan Brown and J.K. Rowling, if you've heard of either of them.
Oh,
and so
in 12 months.
and so if you said to me, yeah, and so I didn't expect that. That's for sure. I hoped it would do okay. But the weirder thing, because listen, it's a very British book, as you know, as you read it. And of course in Australia, that's absolutely fine, because we've got such a bond that I know Australians, you know, we're very comfortable with each other's culture. But, you know, then it's a hit in Germany and Russia and China and America. And that's been the weirder part of the journey for me, I have to say. But it's, listen, it's lovely, you know, it makes people laugh and cry. It's got a sort of Agatha Christie-esque mystery. So I sort of see why people liked it. But yeah, it has taken me by surprise. Let's put it that way.
Yes. Well, have these stories been rolling? I mean, you're obviously a wonderful producer and you know stories, but had this always been rolling around in your head that one day there's a book or two or three or four in you?
Yeah, I've always been a writer. So I started out in journalism, really, and even in my TV career, I've always written. But as anyone sitting at home who's written novels knows, it's really, really difficult, and also takes up an awful lot of time and energy. You can't go at it half-heartedly. You can't think, oh yeah, I'll sort of, you know, I'll toss off a novel in 3 months and, you know, put it out. So, you know, I'd sort of been waiting till I had a bit of time in my life, which I did about 3 years ago. And then I went to, my mum lives in a retirement community down in the south of England, just outside Brighton. And I was down there, and it's a very beautiful place, sort of slightly out of the way, you know, rolling green hills, there's lakes, woodland, all sorts of things. And I thought that this would be a wonderful place for a murder, you know, in that Agatha Christie type way, because it's just, you know, there's something about it.
I'm visiting my mum, but it'd be a lovely place for a murder.
For a murder, exactly. But listen, my mum agrees as well. She's the same. And, you know, you chat to everyone there. Everyone there is over 70 and done extraordinary things with their lives. And then when I thought, oh, if there was a murder here, I bet A, one of you would have committed it, and B, the rest of you would solve it. And that's when the Thursday Murder Club came into being. I thought, you know, 4 residents of a retirement community, they meet up once a week to look over unsolved murders, and then a real murder happens on their doorstep, and suddenly, you know, you've got... And the second I had that thought, you're right, my TV producer's brain went, oh, okay, yeah, there's something here. There's something here that can run and run. I can see the characters, I can see the stories. And, you know, I went back that night and started writing Thursday Murder Club. And now, as you say, The Man Who Died Twice, we're 2 books in.
No. Now, there is quite a bit of spycraft in there and some pretty clever stuff. And how much research did you do for that? Because some of it is quite particular and really clever and very interesting to kind of where the background knowledge came from.
Yeah, do you know what? It's pretty much made up. Is the truth, because it's slightly more interesting, and however close you get to real spycraft, you are going to get it wrong, is the truth, unless you are an active, you know, secret agent. So there's sort of no point saying this is contemporary spycraft. So, you know, like anyone else, you know, I read extensively, and I love Ben McIntyre's books about the Cold War. I think they're absolutely wonderful. And then I sort of think, well, what would I do if I was a spy today? And what would I have done if I was a spy in the 60s without mobile phones and stuff? And then I think, well, what would Elizabeth do? So a lot of it is made up. You know, I keep expecting a knock on the door from MI6 saying, how did you find out about this, and being taken into custody? But I do make it up. You know, I know a few people who are close to that world. Yeah. And one thing I definitely do is I say, could this possibly happen? I'm not saying has it happened or would it happen, could it happen? And if they say, no, there's no way it could happen, then I won't put it in. But if it could happen, they would go, yeah, that doesn't sound unreasonable. And so, you know, I make sure I check that things are not completely beyond the realms of possibility. But I'm not spending my whole life, you know, in a club with 6 MI6 operatives asking how to do things.
Well, that'd be